Good morning, students. We are starting with chapter number 1 of class 12, that is revision 2. Last year you have done all the data structures, that is string, list, tuple, dictionary. And in the first chapter of your class 12, there is a quick revision of all these things. So I am starting with flow of control. See here, program control flow. There are basically three control flows. First, sequential, second, selection, third, iteration. So, control flow means the sequence in which the statements given in the program should be executed. The first is sequential flow control. This is the simple one. You have already done this program, that is calculation of simple interest. So in simple interest program, we have taken three variables. See here, P, R, T. P is for principal, rate and time. P is equal to int, input, enter, principal. That means we are asking user to enter a value in this variable, that is P, and the value will be the principal. Similarly, int, input, enter, rate. So user is supposed to enter the rate for the calculation, then T, enter time. So all these three inputs will be given by user. Then once we have the input, we will be calculating the simple interest by the calculation formula, that is SI is equal to P into R into T upon 100. And after that, print. The output should be printed. Print under double quotes simple interest, comma SI. Now this SI is a variable, and inside double quote this simple interest is your string, which is non-executable. Few more things to be noticed here is, in the first line we are here using double quotes, enter principal, here enter rate, enter time, all in double quotes. Why? Because these three instructions are for the user to understand what to enter for these variables. Okay, so we wanted non-executable string. Non-executable means your control is going to put this particular line as it is on the screen. This will not come under the syntax of a particular statement you are writing. This is not a command, this is just a string to be printed. When you run this program, you are going to see first this written, enter principal. When you give a value and enter button, enter rate will be printed. When you give value, enter a button, enter time will be written. Like this, all the values will be taken by your program. Then SI will be calculated according to the calculation given, and print simple interest, and the answer will be printed. Why we call it a sequential control? Because first this line is executed, once over, then control come to the second line and execute and print this, then third line, then fourth line, then fifth line. Your control is not going to jump directly to the fourth line or come back to the first line. No, sequentially each statement should be printed. Comes under sequential flow control. Now the second is selection flow. Now selection flow or branching also sometimes we say. Branching or sequential control use if conditions. If else, nested else. Okay. Now see, with example I'll explain you. In this example, first we have taken a variable, that is x, equal to int, input, enter a number. So now user is supposed to enter one number. Now we are checking that number. If the number modulus 2 is equal to 0. Now x is a variable, modulus operator you are familiar with, This modulus operator is actually nothing but the operator which extract the remainder after division, because in this program we are interested only in the remainder. So the variable modulus 2, if the answer is 0, equal to 0 is condition given, then the control will move to this line, that is print, number is even. Or if the remainder here is not equal to 0, the control will jump to else part and print number is odd. Okay. Now, why double equal to sign? Double equal to sign because the single equal to is an operator which is already taken for initialization or storing, referring any value for the variable. That is why whenever a comparison check is to be done, we do it with double equal to. And this program is to check whether a number is even or odd. And how do we do actually? That is, we check a number by dividing it with 2, and if it is completely divisible, we say the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. So same thing we are doing here in the program. If the number divided modulus 2, that is remainder, if is equal to 0, this will be printed. If the answer over here is not equal to 0, if it is 1, because there are two possibilities only. So if it is 1, then control will jump to print. That is why this is selection. According to condition, a control has to select whether to go in the first statement or to go in the second statement. That is why it is selection. This is if else. Now, multiple condition can also be checked. See here, in this one, multiple conditions are being checked. We are taken PERC, that is a short I have taken for percentage to store a value. Float, int, enter percentage. Now why float? Because this time we are allowing user to take the decimal numbers also. Here integer, in the first example also integer, because only the whole numbers were allowed. Here we'll give facility to give the decimal ones also. Now see how if condition is checked. Program is basically according to the percentage entered by user, we are going to print whether a student is a A grade student or a B, C or D. Okay. Now how we are using the conditions. If percentage is greater than 85, 85 is not included. That means 86 onwards, from 86 till 100, print A. And if this is the condition, suppose percentage is 92, then your program will print grade A and stop. Your program is not going to go for the other conditions to check. No, here it ends. But if this is not the situation, then your program control will move and go to the next condition within else if. This is written ELIF, but we call it else if. Else if the percentage is greater than 70, means 71 onwards, and the percentage is less than equal to 85. We did not include 85 there, we are including here now. So the range provided now is percentage if is in 70 to 85 range, print B and stop. Don't go for other condition. But if not, then again there is one more condition you can go for, from 45 to 46, from 46 to 70 included. Within this range, print C. If your particular percentage value doesn't fall under any of that, then go in the last one, that is else, and print D. Stop. Understood this? Now, iteration or loop, that is basically repetition. So why do we use repetition and where do we use repetition is this: whenever we have a condition, suppose printing table of a number. In case of table of a number, if 10 times you are going to write the number into 1, number into 2, number into 3, instead of writing it 10 times, we can use a variable for the number 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence and repeat it 10 times. See how we do this. This actually, there are two things given, for and while. Okay. So you can use for the repetition, or you can use while for the repetition. I will first tell you what is the syntax, then we'll go for the program example. Here is the syntax. For control variable that we are using, in is a keyword and a sequence colon. So for a variable in the sequence, repeat the process written over here. And the sequence can be a list, a string, a tuple, or a range. I'll give you example of each. See here. First, that is a string. Okay? String. For letter is a variable, control variable here. For letter in Python, single quote, it's a string. Okay? Colon is very, very important. It's a part of your syntax. So for letter in Python, print letter. This letter is a variable here. Means this variable we are putting up on Python. So this Python, as you know, there are indexes. This P is 0 index, Y1, T2 index. Okay. So the letter will first be taking P, then move on to Y, then T, then H, then O, and then N, like this. This control is for every character of your string. That is a Python. Print letter is going to give you output something like this. PYTHON, and each character will be printed in fresh line. Now why? Because the print is a function, and this function by default has an argument which carries /n. /n is new line character. So every time when your control will come to print, it will shift up output to the new line. That's why Python like this. But if you don't want to do like that, in single line also you can print. Okay? Not vertically, horizontally, in single line if you want, you can print. See how you can do that. For letter in Python, the same statement. Print the letter, comma, end, single quotes, and empty single quotes. Now empty single quotes means the default argument which was /n, we have changed it to space. So that's why no more /n is going to work with this particular statement, and your output will come like that. Now in the second example, numbers is equal to 1 to 10 list. So and square bracket is list. We are providing with the list 1 to 10. Now we are setting a control, because what we want here is we want to go to each element. We want to go to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Like this we want to go to each one. For n in numbers means this list, n is set on this list. If the n means the first element, modulus 2 is equal to 0, print n is even. So what your n is going to do is go to each element and check it for even. If this condition is true, it will print even, like this. Now there is one small thing in this program, that is your even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, but 1 will also be printed. That's why, because the 1 modulus 2, 1 by 2 is 0.5. So integer values take a 0 only, and 1 will also be printed. So if you want, you can remove it, or you don't include it in your calculation. Okay. Now the next program is number equal to 5, one variable. Then for I in range 1 to 11. Range is what I am describing over here. Range is also very important in case of use of for loop. If you don't want to give a string or a list directly, you can provide with the number of times a for loop should repeat. Now here we are telling the for loop is going to repeat for the values that is starting with 1 and end up with 10, not 11. The upper limit always is not included. So if you want this loop to continue 10 times, you have to use 11 over here, 10 times. What this program is doing, as I explained you, this program is printing the table. Print number, single quote, multiplication sign. First time it will be, I will be 1, equal to number into I, means multiplication. So 5 into 1, 5, then next round 5 into 2, 10, 5 into 3, 15, like this it will repeat 10 times and your table will be printed. Clear? Now very important program, that is factorial of a number. So if you want to find factorial of a number, this is what you can use, either for or while, any. Okay, here in this example I am using for. First you have to understand what is the factorial of any number. Suppose the number is 5. So how we calculate the factorial of a number is, we start dividing that number from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the factorial is 120. That means actually what we are doing, we are doing 1 into 2, then 2 into 3, 6, that is the answer, then 6 into 4, answer for 24, then 24 into 5, final answer 120. So we are not supposed to directly write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but what we have to do is, we have to multiply the first two, take answer, then with the answer third one, then with the answer fourth one, then with the answer fifth one. That means every time we have to keep the answer in a variable and use that variable for the multiplication with the next number. This part you have to understand how to do this. Okay, see, number equal to int, input, enter the number, this you already know. Now fact is equal to 1 variable I am taking. This variable I am taking to store the answer every time. For I, the control is being set here. For I in range 1 to number plus 1. Number plus 1 because we want to include 5 also. Our number is 5. But this will go only till 4. Because this is the process of for loop. This is a syntax. So what we do is plus 1 will put. Okay. Now fact is equal to, fact into I is a very important statement. Multiple times you are going to use further. So pay attention to this one. Here first time your fact is 1 and your I is also 1. What is the range of your I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your fact for the first round is 1. So first time 1 into 1 will be multiplied. 1 into 1 stored answer 1. Second round this 1 will be multiplied to 2 answer. This is your fact. Then 2 into 3 answer back, then 6 into 4 answer back, then 24 into 5 answer stored back. That's why fact is equal to the present value in the fact multiplied to the next, present answer of the fact multiplied with the next. This will go on 5 times. Once this is over, print factorial of a number, fact, answer print. Now print is in the same line of for. You cannot change the indentation of this print. If you change the indentation of the print, if you shift your print here, then output will be unexpected. That will be factorial of a number is 1, then factorial of a number is 2, factorial of a number is 6. That means every multiple that you are getting after this will also be printed with the line. That we do not want. We want the final answer. So that's why we have used this print out of the loop. Now while loop. See this. In case of while loop, the syntax is while, text expression, body of while and else body of else. In case anywhere during the iteration your while loop fails, then you can go for the else and print some instruction whatever you want to. Okay. See one example. In this example, one variable is taken, that is k equal to 10, and while k is less than equal to 20, or we can say till k is less than or it is equal to 20, we have to go on. Means what is the range we are providing here? We are starting with 10 and we are going till 20. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 till 20. Okay. Print k. So every time we are printing k, what is the suppose output should be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 till 20, but it is not. Why? Because the updation to the variable we are doing is plus 5. Plus 5 means jump plus 5. First time it is 10, then the next value will be 15, the next value will be like this, it will go. Okay. In case of for loop, the same thing if you use with the for loop, for k in range 10 to 20, I told you always you have to take 21 because you have to go till 20. So 10 to 20 and jump is of 5 every time, print k. So this is the same logic used in while and for both. Okay, thank you.